And so, as the 77th day of the second Trump presidency comes to a close, we have arrived at a moment that we knew was coming. At some point it had to come. We have arrived at the Musk versus Trump moment. The world has been wondering how long the bromance could last between the two most volatile and publicly irrational men in the world, Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only president in history who hired multiple White House chiefs of staff sequentially, only to end up calling each of them an idiot before and after he fired them. Donald Trump's first Secretary of State called Donald Trump an effing moron. It was documented, well documented by Bob Woodward and others. Said that after Donald Trump left a meeting. And not long after that, Trump's first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, was publicly being attacked by Donald Trump after Donald Trump fired him. The publicly much anticipated breakup.
What if I told you the two most powerful men in America, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, are on the verge of a massive fallout that could wreck the economy and shake up the 2024 election? That's right, the billionaire feud that's about to explode might be even bigger than you think. Day 77 of Trump's second term. And already, the cracks in his relationship with Musk are wide enough to sink the U.S. economy. What was once an unthinkable alliance between the former president and the world's richest man is rapidly becoming a bitter showdown. Why is this happening? And what does it mean for your wallet, your investments, and the future of American politics? We're talking about tariffs, lost fortunes, and the real possibility of a Trump-induced recession. And believe it or not, Elon Musk is at the center of this storm. The same man who once tweeted, "I support Trump," is now turning on him, claiming Trump's policies are destroying America's tech industry, and the stock market is already feeling the pain. You ever get that funny feeling? Yeah, same here. So, as day 77 of Donald Trump's second term wraps up, we've reached a moment many saw coming from a mile away. A collision that felt inevitable. Trump versus Musk. For months, the world has speculated how long the uneasy alliance between two of the most unpredictable and ego-driven public figures, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, could possibly last. It was never a question of if, but when, the bromance would implode. Let's not forget, Donald Trump is the only president in U.S. history to cycle through multiple chiefs of staff, only to later slam each one as incompetent. His first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, famously called Trump a moron, something that's been well documented by journalists like Bob Woodward. Not long after that remark, Trump turned on Tillerson and fired him, then publicly trashed him too. That's the pattern. Trump turns on everyone eventually. Loyalty is transactional. But Elon Musk, he's not just anyone. He's the richest man on earth. And no one commands Trump's reluctant admiration quite like someone who represents extreme wealth and influence. That's why Trump was willing to endure the indignity of watching Musk hijack Oval Office discussions and talk policy like he was the one behind the Resolute desk. During some of these moments, Trump appeared more like a bystander than the actual president. Trump doesn't want to burn that bridge. He wants Musk in his corner, not just for his money, but for the fear that money inspires. Within Republican circles, having Musk's backing means being able to pressure, fund, or even unseat Republican lawmakers in primary elections. The power Musk holds makes him too valuable, at least from Trump's perspective, to alienate. So, when the split finally came, it made more sense that Musk would be the one to make the first move. And now, he has. Musk is turning against Trump, first indirectly but unmistakably. His method: criticizing Trump's policies, specifically the tariffs, through his surrogates, while going after Trump allies directly. Ironically, during Biden's presidency, when Musk's wealth surged, he offered little public gratitude. But under Trump's second term, Musk has reportedly lost more money than anyone else in the world.
The publicly much anticipated breakup of Donald Trump and Elon Musk seems to center on the question of when would Donald Trump turn on Elon Musk? That's what everyone was speculating about, because Donald Trump has turned on virtually everyone who's worked for him in the White House. But Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, and there is no one Donald Trump wants to keep in his life more than the richest person in the world, which is why Donald Trump was willing to suffer the public humiliation of Elon Musk publicly taking over a discussion in the Oval Office about Elon Musk's governing policies that left the actual president of the United States having about the same amount to say as Elon Musk's 4-year-old son. We know Donald Trump doesn't ever want to turn against Elon Musk because he...
The reason? Trump's economic policies, which many experts are now calling irrational and self-defeating. Musk began signaling his break from Trump by targeting Peter Navarro, the former Trump economic advisor best known for pushing the aggressive tariff strategy. Navarro, also the only presidential economic aide to serve federal prison time, authored many of the tariffs now battering the U.S. economy. Musk's jab was subtle but sharp. He posted that having a Harvard PhD in economics is a bad thing, not a good thing. Translation: if Navarro is what passes for an economic brain in Trump world, we're in trouble. Of course, Navarro fired back with a new kind of insult from the MAGA playbook, calling Musk just a car guy who wants cheap foreign parts, a curious retort for a movement that claims to champion American auto workers and manufacturers. And here's the punchline: Trump doesn't even seem to understand how his tariffs work. The policies meant to protect U.S. industries are now crushing them. Stock prices for every major American car company are tanking, including Musk's own Tesla, which dropped sharply again today.
Tonight, Elon Musk is the individual biggest dollar loser in the world as a result of Donald Trump's world war on economic sanity. And so Elon Musk began his attack on Donald Trump with an attack on Trump's surrogate, Peter Navarro, the only economic advisor to a president to have served federal prison time, and who is the author of the deranged Trump-Navarro tariffs. Elon Musk tweeted this about Peter Navarro: a PhD in econ from Harvard is a bad thing, not a good thing. Imagine what that means for Donald Trump, who only has a college degree from the University of Pennsylvania, which surely Elon Musk values even less than a PhD from Harvard. Peter Navarro shot back at Elon Musk, calling him a car guy and who just wants, quote, cheap foreign.
The fallout from Trump's economic moves is being felt across Wall Street. Even Tesla's board is weighing in. Today, Kimball Musk, Elon's brother and Tesla board member, took to Twitter to slam Trump's policies. He questioned how Trump, supposedly the low-tax president, is now enacting what amounts to a permanent consumption tax through tariffs. Kimball argued that this kind of tax leads to a predictable chain reaction. Less consumption leads to fewer jobs, which further reduces spending, resulting in, you guessed it, a recession. And that's not just rhetoric. Wall Street analysts are now openly predicting what they're calling a Trump recession. It's not just theory, it's starting to show in real data and investor behavior. Musk also recently appeared in a video conference with Italy's right-wing League Party, where he completely disavowed Trump's protectionist stance. Musk advocated for zero tariffs between North America and Europe, essentially arguing for a free trade zone, not a reduced tariff, not a negotiation, zero. In direct contradiction to Trump's agenda, Musk is telling him to ditch tariffs altogether. That's about as far from Trump's current economic strategy as you can get. And if you thought this week couldn't get any wilder, CNBC experienced one of the most chaotic days in its recent memory. Early in the morning, a rumor started spreading that Trump's economic team was considering a 90-day tariff pause for all countries except China. The market loved the idea. Stocks soared. It was as if someone had turned the optimism switch back on. But then came the fact check. CNBC's Eamon Javers contacted White House officials to verify the report. Their response? They had no idea what anyone was talking about. And with that, the rally collapsed. Markets fell as quickly as they rose once the rumor was debunked. That roller coaster is a clear reflection of how sensitive Wall Street is to Trump's erratic economic behavior. Investors aren't reacting to fundamentals. They're reacting to chaos. One CNBC anchor even floated a serious concern about insider trading. If Trump's administration knew in advance just how damaging these tariff announcements would be, there's a real fear that individuals within government might have used that information to profit by selling stocks or shorting the market.
This weekend, during a video conference with Italy's right-wing League Party, Elon Musk revealed just how dramatically and completely he disagrees with Donald Trump in private, where he apparently claims to urge Donald Trump to drop all tariffs between Europe and North America?
I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, Euro tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. That would be that's what I hope occurs. And also more freedom of people to move between Europe and North America, if they wish. If they wish to work in Europe or wish to work in America, they should be allowed to do so, in my view. So that has certainly been my advice to the president.
On top of that, longtime Tesla supporter Dan Ives sounded more disillusioned than ever. He called Trump's tariffs the worst thing that could happen to the American tech industry, which relies heavily on global supply chains. Ives described it like playing a baseball game with no catcher, no shortstop, and no left fielder. You can't win. Not like that. Ives also pointed out the economic consequences for everyday consumers. If iPhones have to be made entirely in the US, expect the price tag to jump to $3,000. That's not just inflation, that's price shock. The Wall Street Journal backed that up with specifics. Trump's tariffs will increase the price of cars across the board. Low-cost cars could rise by $12,500 to $4,500. Luxury vehicles like Cadillacs and Suburbans up by $10,000 to $12,000. Even used cars will get more expensive as buyers flee from the new car sticker shock. And automakers have ways of disguising those costs. Instead of raising sticker prices, they may raise interest rates on car loans, quietly passing the cost on to consumers. This weekend, Trump posted on social media, defiant as ever, doubling down on his tariffs. But the data, the markets, and now even Elon Musk are all signaling the same message. The damage is real, and it's only getting worse. The Trump-Musk rupture isn't just another celebrity feud. It's a signal that Trump's economic policies are alienating even his most influential allies. And that could have real consequences not just for politics, but for every American's wallet.